And you want to lecture me right now about right and wrong? Like, come on, man.
Just because you talk loud does not mean you're right.
No, but that's the fact about the Steele
just because you talk loud doesn't mean I'm going to let you continue to talk over me. To avoid answering yes or no, you ran around this table. That is why it's so maddening, because we have to sit here and watch you
guys responded
jump
to
through
Trump's
hoops.
campaign and said it didn't
you jump
happen.
through hoops.
And you literally were doing
pretend.
You're getting fights all done under Democrats. And you guys are like, man, I tell you what now, the weaponization. Like, welcome to our world. Congratulations for finally joining us.
You know it's a straw man because
it's not a straw man when you're holding people accountable.
Your argument is basically that maybe it's something bad so we can do something bad.
Josh, hang on one second.
If it's bad, it's bad.
I don't even want to go down the road of...
You're muddying the waters. You're constantly doing this. And you're
destroying. You tried to overthrow the will of the people with a Steele dossier that you knew was a lie.
Charles did that.
You think President Obama set up...
Were they not spying on Donald Trump's campaign?
Oh, my God.
Yes or no? It is a fact that did they get FISA warrants? Yes or no? Oh, so then therefore it must be real, even though it wasn't.
What Russia is doing? Yes, 100%.
You accuse Donald Trump of work.
Hello, everybody. Guys, we got Marvel's Kingpin and Dumbo today. Dumbo is just another lapdog, defends anything and everything Trump does, even when it comes to the Epstein files. This dude is really insufferable and just doesn't shut the F up. Let's get into this segment and we'll talk about it.
The breaking news tonight, former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted just days after Donald Trump directed his DOJ to charge him. Joining us at the table is Josh Rogan. He's the lead global security analyst at The Washington Post and intelligence and author of Chaos Under Heaven. Josh, as we were just discussing, the big question that's hanging over this case is whether or not the fact that Donald Trump directed this prosecution is going to matter. And also, I think other people are probably wondering what other prosecutions are coming next. I mean, we know it's not just Comey. It's Letitia James, Adam Schiff, Lisa Cook, John Bolton, Miles Taylor, Chris Krebs, John Brenner. These are all people that Trump has said he wants to see prosecuted.
Right. Does it matter? Well, I don't think this is the first time a president has intervened in law enforcement. I hearken back to a time when they used to be a little bit embarrassed about it, where they weren't so proud of it. I think that's the norm that's been shattered here. Now they're just doing it out in the open. Remember when Bill Clinton met with Loretta Lynch on the tarmac? It was like a scandal for like 6 months. And that's because that was bad. We thought it was bad for the people under investigation to be politically motivated and for the presidents to intervene in law enforcement. That's all gone now.
Well, but I mean, just to be clear, I mean, Bill Clinton wasn't president at the time.
Exactly.
They had a conversation, and it was just the appearance of a conversation that caused everybody to lose their minds then. Now it's the president sending messages saying prosecute him.
But to your point, it's not really about Comey. James Comey is going to be fine. He's an amazingly successful person with a lot of resources. And there are not just the people that you mentioned, but another 100 people who don't have those resources, who now have to worry about if the Justice Department is going to come after them for criticizing Trump. And those people, if they get indicted, may not be able to afford it. Their careers may be impacted. And then there's another huge group of people that will have a chilling effect. And I think that's the real point of this. It's not really about the indictment itself. It's about the chilling effect it sends to anyone who might want to speak up against Trump. And that chilling effect is real, and it affects a lot of people that names we'll never know. And then, you know, we had all these leaders from the UN here this week, and I was talking to all of them. You know, there are a lot of countries out there where the presidents get to use law enforcement to silence political dissent. The Chinese government does this. The Russian government does this. The Turkish government does this. The Saudi Arabian government. Do we want to be that? Is that what we like? Is that good? Are we going to keep going down that road? Or are we going to have a rule of law where...
I would have loved to have heard this speech from you when Michael Flynn was getting indicted, Rick Gates, George Papadopoulos, Mark Meadows, Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, Jenna Ellis, Jeffrey Clark. That was all done under Democrats. And you guys are like, man, I tell you what now, the weaponization. Like, you know, welcome to our world. Congratulations for finally joining us.
You know it's a straw man because
it's not a straw man when you're holding people accountable for what they did.
Yeah, but that's just...
There's an abuse of power that happened last administration. I just gave you the names. And you're acting like they never did it.
Ben, do you think it matters?
They literally tried to steal an election. Almost all those people he mentioned there. They all, whatever. We all know what this is about. Please let me know in the comments. Well, we talked about this maybe 2 months ago. Trump was going to do anything and everything he can hide from those Epstein files. We all know what's in there. And I really believe this is what this is all about. I actually think the Epstein files and the economy, to be exact. He knows a recession is right around the corner. he knows that they're getting closer and closer to revealing what Trump did when it comes to Epstein. And the rumor is that there's a picture of him with younger girls sitting on his lap. I don't know. But I think this is what this is all about. Because, like, who the hell cares about James Comey? I don't give a crap about this dude. I think it's literally what he's doing all of this for is it's to distract. Trying to give Republicans what they like with the bigotry, with this nonsense, with the obsession over museums and African-American exhibits. Going into different Democrat cities with crime rates that are already at near historic lows. The Charlie Kirk thing and trying to connect it with trans shooters or something, like anything. It's all red meat for what Trump knows, in my belief, are a very easily tricked, manipulated, and simply dumb group of people. Conservatives. I mean, they're just slow. I don't know. I really don't know a better way to say it. I've met many of them in my life. All of them. Damn near all of them. High level of confidence with an outstandingly low level of intelligence. This is amazing, this whole conversation.
Do you think that it matters what those people were accused of doing?
I think it matters that you have on the record a former administration that went after people.
Okay, can you answer my question?
I'm answering your question. You don't like what I'm saying.
Do you think it matters? Does it matter whether or not those people actually did the things that they were accused of doing?
I'll give you a great example of answering this question. When James Comey decided, I'm going to go into the Situation Room and I'm going to hang out with a guy and entrap him.
You could literally just answer that by saying, yes, it matters, no, it doesn't matter. Do you think it matters?
Well, I think the facts matter.
Do you think that
James Comey,
do you think that
I said this last night,
when Michael Flynn was charged with lying to the FBI, does it matter whether he did it or not?
I think it's pretty clear they knew they were setting him up to lie.
When Roger Stone was charged and convicted of lying to Congress,
and they raided his house on live TV,
and lying to
I think that was going after your political opponent.
Does it matter to you whether he lied or not?
I think it should matter when you lie to Congress.
So does it matter to you whether he lied or not?
I think we're talking about that right now with James Comey.
Yes or no?
I just said I think it should across the board.
All right, but your argument is basically that they did something bad, so we can do something bad.
Josh, hang on one second.
If it's bad, it's bad.
I don't even want to go down the road of. I don't even want to go down the road of the false equivalency, because I'm asking you. Do you think it matters whether the facts support charges or not?
100%.
Because if
you
it
guys
matters,
said at the table tonight that there's no facts for James Comey to be indicted.
Hold on a second.
You don't know that.
Hold on a second, Ben. If it matters whether or not the charges are substantiated or not, you would be just as upset about Michael Flynn lying, about Roger Stone lying and then getting pardoned, as you are about the allegation of James Comey lying. Would you not be?
I am angry when anyone uses the government to go after their political opponents the way that the last administration did it.
So that only is a valid argument if, in fact, it was the government just going after people for things they didn't do.
They went after Donald Trump for things he didn't do.
But if they did, in fact, commit crimes, do you think they should be prosecuted for it?
If you commit a crime, regardless of the party you're in, I think you should be prosecuted.
Okay, well then I think that really answers your question, Ben.
So do you think they entrapped? Do you think James Comey was there to entrap General Flynn? Yes or no?
The facts
it's a simple question.
It
should matter, but you won't answer that question because you know he didn't.
No, hold on.
Comey didn't commit a crime.
Listen,
exactly. You're saying he's innocent, but anyone that Trump was around is guilty.
Listen, my friends, I am not presupposing
anything. I wish you guys treated Trump that way.
James Comey has not been convicted of a crime. That is actually the presumption of innocence, which I know you know well about.
Sure.
That presumption of innocence, he actually has. We had a whole discussion here about whether or about
change if he's convicted.
It will absolutely change if in a court of law he is convicted. But all we have right now are the facts of the case as we know it.
There are things that we don't.
There are things that we don't know. There are things that we don't know. But just to be clear, the presumption of innocence isn't me giving James Comey a break. It's actually a right that he has in this country. Now, on the other hand, some other people that you were just claiming were, politically persecuted were actually convicted. They were actually convicted.
Are you saying, let me ask you,
so do you think it matters whether or not that those processes were valid?
Of the whole list they give you, is there anyone on there you think, hey, you know what, they got a raw deal? I think the last administration went after them for political persecution.
So
do you think the way they set up Flynn and entrapped him and the way that James Comey got on stage and mocked it, Do you not think there's a problem with that?
Your argument
I'm being
is,
serious.
Your
You
argument
won't
is
answer the question because you know I'm right on
no,
this
the
one.
answer is
He got on stage and literally mocked the fact that he was so trusting and didn't call an attorney.
You're just
I'm
deflecting.
asking you a question. That's true. Comey is
Hold on
narcissistic.
a
I get
second.
it.
Either political
I
persecutions
think
are
that
good
you
or
guys
bad.
like to use this idea of entrapment in a way that is totally incorrect. It is not entrapment to ask somebody a question and then they lie in answering that question. That's not what entrapment means.
So
okay?
you think it was
just to be
totally
clear-
above board,
just to be clear,
even though he literally
Michael
said it
Flynn-
wasn't?
Michael Flynn
You sent a couple FBI guys in there.
could have told the truth, and that would have negated this entire thing. So no, that is not actually at all entrapment. End of story on that one. But let's move on first. 1 second.
Dumbo got so embarrassed. Look at him. Nothing to say there, flappy ears? What say you? Like such a crybaby. These Republicans, oh, he mocked you. He stood up there and mocked you. Shut up. Republicans are so damn whiny all the time. They sound so weak and pathetic. Always. These Republicans live, I said this 1,000 times now, such a sad existence. To have to always defend this senior citizen baby buffoon Trump. What an amazing excuse. I've heard this excuse before. I would have never lied if you didn't ask me a question I didn't want to answer. Diablo. It's like what Charlie Kirk's racist ass said about black people. He would have never questioned a black pilot if it wasn't for things like DEI. He's forced to question black and brown people now. Black and brown people's competence now. Can't you see what you've done? You tried to even out the employment field by giving everyone equal opportunities. If you didn't do that, we would have never became racist. See what you've done? Incredible.
I want to.
But your argument is essentially we're rubber and they're glue.
No, I'm saying,
which is
when
like
you
an
sit here
argument
and you
made by
act like what we're witnessing
5-year-olds.
right now is like this shocking moment that we can't
It is a
believe this is
shocking-
happening.
It is a
when
shocking
you
moment.
guys literally
It
went
is
pro
a
in this.
shocking
We're barely amateurs.
moment.
You guys
It
are
is a
pros.
shocking moment.
Hold on a second. I don't have time to play
This
this
is why it's
sound,
so
but I just
mad.
want to add, Charles, that Donald Trump also has now opened up the frontiers of the George Soros Foundation being investigated. So this is not just about James Comey.
Exactly.
There's a long list of political enemies. You were saying, you were talking about this, but I just want to introduce that because I think it's valid to add to this that Trump is expanding the list of people that he does not like. He's accusing the Soros Foundation, according to the New York Times, of things ranging from arson to material support of terrorism. That is what they're looking at.
Right. And Ben,
On college campuses,
I'm
yes.
sorry, let me finish. This is why it is so maddening for Americans because this deflection that you're doing, this false equivalency that you're
Pretty
doing.
direct, bro.
No, I'm finished. She asked you a direct question about whether or not, if those things were true, whether or not you'd be upset about it. You went around this studio
I
trying
went back
to
to General
avoid
Flynn as a
answering yes or
perfect
no.
example of the abuse
to
of power.
avoid answering yes or no, you ran around this table. That is why it's so maddening because we have to sit here and watch you
guys responded
jump
on
through
Trump's
hoops.
campaign and said it didn't
You jump
happen.
through hoops.
And you literally were doing it.
pretend-
You're getting FISA warrants. And you knew they were a lie. You literally said the Steele dossier was user-generated at the FBI, and then you weaponized it to go after Donald Trump to have a coup against a sitting president of the United States of America. And you want to lecture me right now about right and wrong? Like, come on, man.
Just because you
Come
talk
on.
loud does not mean you're right.
No, but that's the facts about the Steele
just
dossier.
because you talk loud doesn't mean I'm going to let
FBI
you
said
continue to
that the
talk
Steele
over me.
dossier
It's ridiculous.
was user-generated,
And at
and
some
you
point,
used it
I'll
to
let
go
him
after.
finish, and then I'll talk.
Go ahead.
Are you finished yet? Because
I'm
you've been
just
talking
going
all
to
night.
correct the record. You guys
not correcting
weaponize the
record.
government.
You're destroying the record. You're muddying the waters. You're constantly doing this, and you're
You
destroying.
tried to overthrow the will of the people with a
This is-
Steele dossier that you
this
knew
is
was a
ridiculous.
lie.
Not true.
Charles did that?
That's not
The
true.
Democratic Party. I was here during that
I
time,
did.
and it was pretty awesome.
Is political persecution wrong or not?
Let's let somebody answer, and Ben, I'll let you respond. Okay? I promise I will let you respond. But go ahead.
Well,
You got to treat this guy like a little kid. Amazing to use the word coup against Trump when he literally incited a coup, an insurrection on January 6th, where one of his own dumbass supporters died, Ashley Babbitt. Multiple police officers got the crap beat out of them. Just amazing the arguments they make. This kind of crap can only work on a Republican's brain. That's the only thing that makes sense.
I just don't understand what Trump actually thinks that he has to win out of this. Because if he has to explain it while Americans are losing their jobs, he's not winning. So, you know, the whole circle that you just did, you said if someone is, you know, guilty, then they should be persecuted. If they're not guilty, then they shouldn't. We don't know. Sure. But what's happening here is you guys are setting up a very dangerous precedent. And no. I'm sorry. You think that we did all of the precedent setting? You think that
you guys went pro in it? And political persecution.
Y'all went President Obama. Yeah? You think President Obama set up...
Were they not spying on Donald Trump's campaign?
Oh, my God.
Yes or no? It is a fact that did they get FISA warrants? Yes or no? Oh, so then therefore it must be real, even though it wasn't.
Should we know what Russia is doing? Yes, 100%.
You accused Donald Trump of working with the Russians.
Hold on a second.
And you knew it was a lie.
All right, Ben, you lost your chance to respond because I asked you not to intervene, and you did. Listen, let me just ask you, Jim. Hold on, Josh. A straightforward question, okay? Because at the end of the day, it seems like the justification for all of this is that, well, they did it to us first. But at the same time, even if you think all of those other investigations involving Trump-adjacent people were invalid, there is no evidence that they were directed by the president in the way that Trump is directing this. So, is it right to do it just because of the perception that it might have been directed by the prior president?
That I think any prosecutor taking this case would prefer that the president not weigh in on it, because they're the ones that have to go prosecute that case and get a conviction. It makes it harder when he does what he does. That's a fact. Any prosecutor taking that case wouldn't want to hear him saying those things. It makes it harder, and therefore he probably shouldn't do it.
All right. Thank you, Jim. Josh Rogan, thank you.
Marvel's Kingpin is right. He's basically calling Trump a dumbass. And I just couldn't do it. I commend the people on this panel. How no one on the panel mentions Dumbo, flappy ears there, has the ears 3 times the average size of anyone else. And he just can't seem to effing listen. What are those damn things for? How are they that large but listen to so little? Shut up. Let people talk. We know it hurts your feelings when your daddy Trump is being criticized. You'll get your turn. Calm down. And as far, like I said about James Comey, I don't give a crap about him. He absolutely screwed us with that Hillary Clinton announcement that he was investigating her. They found nothing, of course. I'm not the biggest fan of Hillary Clinton, but anyone over this dumbass Trump. Ever since then, this country has been going down, down into despair. As far as I'm concerned, James Comey is the reason that Trump became president. So I don't really care what the hell happens to him. He is part of the reason why we're here today. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Please leave a like, subscribe. It really helps the channel, really helps push the message out there. And I'll catch you in the next one.